was sure a lot of fun. We're sitting here with Jim and Mick. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Those were some great songs. Now, I just dubbed the group. I don't know if you really call yourselves James, Lacey-Baker and Friends, but for this show, that's who you became.
That's who we were today, yeah.
Yeah. So, James, you've been, can I call you Jim?
Yeah, you can.
Because I'll probably slip into it.
That's okay. That's what everybody calls me.
Yeah. So you're up to, I want to find out what you're up to.
Yeah.
Those songs were your own.
Yes, yeah.
And you've also been working with this woman.
That's right.
Carla Olson.
Yeah.
And you and Mick are both on this album.
That's right. Yeah.
Which we, in fact, reviewed on the last show very favorably. And so tell me a little bit about your music, Carla's.
Okay, yeah. Well,
tell them about my music, too.
Of course.
That's right. This was the music, what everybody saw. That's basically where we're at right now. Rock and roll, and acoustic, electric, this.
Was that the crew already asking if you've got a CD out?
That's in the works. We're actually doing pre-production right now for a CD.
Uh-huh.
We're going to start recording probably in February.
Good. With this lineup?
Quite possibly this lineup, yeah.
Really? You're going to ask me to play on it?
That's right.
He asked you just now, I think.
Yeah. That's right. On the air. Yeah, this is it.
So I guess I passed the audition.
I do? I do.
I do.
Okay.
I'll say he passed the audition. He played slide guitar for two people. Jim made a liar out of me. I said we're going to hear two great slide guitar players, and then
he
went ahead and played it.
He does play good slide.
Well, he does, and I know that from recordings I've heard, but on this show he didn't. But that was fine. Like I said, Mick makes up for it. He played for two people.
Yeah.
So how did you guys get involved? I mean, do you actually like this guy's music, Mick, or is he just persistent?
Yeah, he's very persistent. Very persistent. But I do like his music, yeah. Me and Jim have been friends for nearly 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we did some work at the studio in Los Angeles.
Did you meet before the Carla Olson project? Or
before this project, yes. Yes.
In New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yes, we actually met, for the first time we met was outside of a record shop called Hideout Records.
You wanted to sign one of my records?
In the village, yeah. That's right.
I think you had to twist his arm. That's the way it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard that story. But I think a funny part of it is later on in Los Angeles, you told me that you gave Carla Olson a tape of your music,
right?
And she gave it to Mick without telling him who it was, and he kept, badgering her, saying, "Well, who is this?" And finally said, "Is it me?" So now, is that a true story, or was he Buffalo?
It's true that she did. Carla did play me a tape.
Mm-hmm. But
I was very impressed. Very impressed.
I guess so. If you thought it might have been you.
I said I've got to meet this young man.
Yeah. So you gentlemen are working together on this project.
Yeah, I hope to be involved in Jim's album. When he starts to make it.
And then, of course, this is not a signed deal. This is the way the business works these days. It seems is the record companies want a fully developed tape. It seems like raw demo tapes don't get you a deal anymore.
Well, I think sometimes they can, but yeah, I think you're probably right. They want the whole package, the image, everything.
Now, are there other things that you're involved in now, Mick?
Well, I have a band in England that I tour with. I was touring in Europe this year, mostly sort of big outdoor jazz and blues festivals, and that's mostly what I do at the moment.
Because we don't get a lot of.
I've got a new CD coming out in Spain.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I understand that you had a solo album out in '79 and then one in '90, right?
Yeah, it's the one that actually was released in 1990, which is a live album called Stranger in This Town. It's been, for some reason, it's being re-released in Spain.
Well,
you must want it there.
So I think you should vacation there. You'll be a big star.
Yeah, well, I did do a few gigs there this year, so maybe that's something to do with it. But
now, I had mentioned your tours with a couple of really good bands in England, John Mayall's Blues Breakers and the Rolling Stones. I think a lot of people are curious maybe how that transition came about. How did you actually go from I mean, is it a dumb question to say, ask whether you even
from being a
considered
blues...
not joining
Oh,
the
no.
Rolling Stones? Because
Yes, it is a dumb question.
I was hoping
Yeah.
for some sort of lofty artistic
Oh,
reasoning that
no, there's no lofty artistic reasoning behind my decision to join them at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one moment I was with John Mayall's Blues Breaks. In fact, I'd just gotten off a 8-week tour with John Mayall, and John had decided to reform the Blues Breakers, and he ended up getting a saxophone player, and it was a more jazz, sort of acoustic orientated type blues group. So he disbanded that particular lineup of the Blues Breakers, and
so you were
I'd been back in London for a few weeks, and I got a call from Stone's office, and it was basically John Mayall that recommended me to them, because apparently they'd been looking for, you know, a guitar player for some time to take Brian's place.
Yeah. Now, when you left, was that? I've never read anything about that. Was that artistic differences?
Well, no, No, I couldn't really summarize it as being just artistic differences. No, I mean, I guess I never really, even right from the beginning, I never really saw. Thought I would stay with the group forever. I mean, it was only I was with them for nearly 6 years.
Which in the world of rock and roll is a pretty long gig.
Well, it seemed like a long time then. Yeah.
And now I would guess that period of your career with Mayall and the Stones has probably colored everything you've done since then. Has it ever prevented you from doing something, or is it just open doors?
No, I don't think it's prevented me from doing anything. No, it's probably, as you say, opening doors.
So anybody gets a call from the Stones,
Anyway.
will probably say yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a lot more we could ask you, and who